Welcome to the Biden administration, home to the new slogan, America Last, where a closed inauguration meets open borders, where America First ideas are censored, but those who suppress them are rewarded, where 10 million Americans are out of work and 11 million are offered a pathway to citizenship, where a pandemic rages and untested migrants welcomed. Joe Biden, within hours of his presidency, is doing as much as he can to cancel the Trump legacy, to take away our near energy independence, to satisfy the left as they move towards socialism, and to provide jobs and security to those who have come here illegally. He has halted deportation orders of illegal aliens, many of them criminals. After 430 miles of border wall is built, Biden halts construction and for the next 100 days halts deportation of those ordered deported by a court. There is no exception for those convicted of even felony crimes. So what is Joe Biden's border policy? Jen Psaki, Biden's press secretary, gave this answer when asked.
His approach is multi-pronged. It is to do smart security that will help address and use technology to address key border crossings, address ports of entry more effectively and efficiently. It will also help address root causes of migration, and that hasn't been in past bills.
Are we supposed to run their government so they're treated better? We can't even guarantee the First Amendment to American citizens. Or are we supposed to go back and find out why they want to come here from Central America? I'll tell you why. They were invited. Just ask them.
Biden, he's going to help all of us. He's given us 100 days to get to the U.S. and give us legal mental paper so we can get a better life for our kids and family.
Are we supposed to make sure that everyone from around the world gets a better life for themselves and their families? If that's the case, Americans' lifestyle must give way in order to provide for others. America not only has to deal with a pandemic and huge unemployment, we'll have to deal with immigration and immigrants competing for jobs with 10 million unemployed American workers. Now, Biden also revoked the permit for the XL Keystone Pipeline, which was designed to carry 830,000 barrels of crude oil every day, resulting in 11,000 Americans losing their jobs, not to mention causing America to be less energy independent. So why shut it down? For the first time under President Trump, the United States was virtually energy independent. Why change that? Democrats claim that the pipeline is unsafe. But this is contradicted by U.S. State Department studies that found no environmental damage from the pipeline. The only other options? Rail cars and barges. Now think about it. Rail cars and barges are certainly not carbon neutral, while the Keystone Pipeline actually reduces carbon emissions. And consider the fact that rails are clearly less safe, have a higher emittance rate. They literally travel through America's towns, villages, and countrysides from Canada to the Gulf of Mexico. And barges, the other option, but they're generally used to take oil to other countries, and they are clearly not carbon neutral. So why would a president not only strip Americans of jobs they presently have, create more environmental damage, take away a nation's energy independence, and then put us back at the heels of OPEC? As I said, America last. Now, Biden talks big about securing relations with our allies.
We will repair our alliances and engage with the world once again.
But for all his talk on repairing alliances, he has hit Canada, our closest neighbor and ally, with a gut punch. They are furious, and rightfully so. Now, Canada has the third largest oil reserve on Earth, and it has put $1 billion into building a pipeline relying on U.S. safety and energy reports. They're now actually threatening legal action if the Biden administration goes through with this. And the shutdown of America's oil and gas independence, Well, it foretells the beginning of the radical green agenda, which will usher capitalism out and socialism in. Biden has also rejoined the Paris Climate Accord, which will destroy thousands of jobs. The Heritage Foundation reports that re-entering the accord would cause the loss of at least 400,000 American jobs, many in manufacturing, probably to China. Now, this reaffirms Barack Obama's claim that manufacturing jobs were a thing of the past and that no magic wand was there to bring them back, except for the one that President Trump had. And according to Senator Ted Cruz, quote, by signing this order, President Biden indicates he is more interested in the views of the citizens of Paris than the jobs of the citizens of Pittsburgh. And joining the accord may soon require that school children, your children, learn about activism. That includes how to protest the government. Teaching children about the environment and green economy is one thing, but teaching children how to take action against the government is not something I suspect most parents want their children to learn about in school. But then again, Biden repealed the 1776 program that would instill in school children a pride in the history of America and how great it is, in order to rebut the 1619 project, still present in schools, that condemns America as a racist nation. Now, the ultimate hypocrisy is Joe Biden's claim of unity, while the left continues to censor words, social media, and the actions of those they don't like, even recommending deprogramming. The cry for unity falls on deaf ears as the far-left riots in Portland, Denver, and Seattle. Curious, I don't remember ever seeing as much press or as big an effort to identify those who tried to destroy a federal courthouse and destroyed people's homes, livelihoods, and businesses as those who rushed the Capitol. I've already said that their actions were reprehensible and that they should be prosecuted, but so must those on the left who injured 700 police officers last year across America. But we're all happy, peaceful, and united now that Joe Biden is in the Oval Office. And to prove that, on Monday, Nancy Pelosi will deliver articles of impeachment to the Senate against a president who is already out of office. Welcome to the Biden administration. And that's my open. Let me know what you think on my Facebook and Twitter, #JudgeJeanine. And remember, if you like my opens, you love my new book, Don't Lie to Me, available on Amazon and in Barnes & Nobles and Books A Million and everywhere you can find it.